श्रीचक्र वरदाचार्यं शुद्धसत्व गुरुत्तमं श्रीनिधिं राघवं वन्दे ह्यपार करुणाकरम् अग्रे पश्यामि तेजः किमपि हयमुखं वर्धकं वारिराशेः विद्यारूपस्य हृद्यं विशद शशिनिभं पद्मजाताभिवन्द्यं शङ्खं चक्रं च पुस्तं विवृतिरतिमतीं ज्ञानमुद्रां च लक्ष्मीं बिभ्रत् विभ्राजमानं श्रुतिततिमहितं लोचनानेकदृश्यम्. A very good evening to all and my humble namaskarams to Swamiji and Madam for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be amidst you on the 19th annual convention of SDET, amidst the pool of great children, tomorrow's India's citizens of Bharat. Amidst you, I have been bestowed with a great opportunity to deliver a talk on the topic, the essence of Sanatana Dharma. The topic is the essence of Sanatana Dharma. The audience are the future pillars of Sanatana Dharma. So, the essence of Sanatana Dharma is going to be shared amidst the future pillars of Sanatana Dharma. So, what is Sanatana Dharma? This question has been lingering in the minds of many people for past few months. What is Sanatana Dharma? Let us just split the word into two parts. Sanatanam plus Dharmam, Sanatana Dharmam. Sanatanam means one that is eternal, which has no beginning, which has no end. That is called Sanatanam. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna, while referring to Atma, he says, Achaloyam Sanatanaha. Atma, Jivatma has no beginning, no end. It is Sanatanam. So Sanatanam means one that is eternal. Dharmam, what is Dharmam? Dharmam is a set of rules. A set of rules that guides you to attain ultimate good, which guides all beings to attain ultimate bliss, or whatever great target you have got. The set of rules that guide you towards that ultimate happiness, ultimate good, it is called Dharmam. Now you combine both. Sanatana Dharmam, the eternal set of rules. The eternal set of rules, or in other words, the eternal way of life that guides you towards ultimate perfection and towards the four important prospects of life. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksham. Dharma means a righteous way of life while living in this world. Artha, we have to earn wealth. To live in this world, you have to earn wealth. But you have to earn wealth within the limits of Dharma. That is Artha. Number 3, Kama. We have to be happy. We can enjoy. But that enjoyment should be within the limits of Dharma. So that is Kamam. Number 4, Moksham, ultimate liberation, the ultimate purpose of our life, that is Moksham. So these 4 things are the ultimate good which we want to achieve in this life. The eternal set of rules which will guide you to attain Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksham, the 4 prospects, those eternal set of rules is referred to as Sanatana Dharmam. Now coming to our topic is the essence of Sanatana Dharmam. Now, what can you call as the essence of Sanatana Dharma? Now, I have divided this speech into 2 parts. For the first 60 minutes, actually in the invitation it was given as 75 minutes. For the first 60 minutes, I will first speak. Of course, there will be interaction with students. In the last 15 minutes, you will be asking questions and I will be answering them. So, first I have to question you, then you will question me. Now, let me put forward my question. What can be considered as the essence of Sanatana Dharma? Whenever we use the word essence, that thing, that essence should be exclusive to this thing only. Because when you say something is essence of Sanatana Dharma, that thing should be exclusive to Sanatana Dharma. What can you call as essence of Sanatana Dharma, the exclusive essence? Any answers from students? Just you can guess, this is not your classroom. Any wild guess it can be. The essence of Sanatana Dharma. Let me put forward 6 points, because 60 minutes lecture, 10 minutes for each point. 6 things constitute the essence of Sanatana Dharma. Point number 1. Sanatana Dharmam is not an external entity, it is an internal entity. This is exclusive for Sanatana Dharmam. No other religion, no other Dharmam can be classified as internal one. But Sanatana Dharma cannot be searched outside. Sanatana Dharma has to be searched inside. So it is something internal. It is intrinsic. It is within you. This is the first essence of Sanatana Dharma. The second essence is, in Sanatana Dharma, you are responsible for your rise as well as your downfall. Whether you are happy or with sorrow, you are responsible, not others. This is the second important concept of Sanatana Dharma. Number 3, God is within everyone. God is not limited to his divine abode. Of course, God has divine abode. He is there. But he is not limited to that divine abode alone. God is very well there in temples, no doubt. But he is not limited to temples alone. He is within each one of us. This is the essence of Sanatana Dharma number 3. Essence of Sanatana Dharma number 4. You have to worship Lord separately, that's different. But your work, your job, your occupation, that itself can be transformed into worship of God. Work can be made a form of worship. That is the fourth essence of Sanatana Dharma. Number 5. In Sanatana Dharma, there are a lot of scientific facts within our own daily routine activities. We may be doing a lot of routine activities every day, but we don't know that there are many scientific secrets within each of those activities which you can't find anywhere else in this world, not in any civilization other than this. So this Sanatana Dharma has got many scientific facts embedded within. That is number 5. And last but not the least, 6th one, in Sanatana Dharma, the role of a guru is great. We have to surrender to a guru. When we want to reach God, first you have to reach out to a guru, and when you get God's grace, you will get a good guru. So the surrender to a guru is an important concept in Sanatana Dharma. So these 6 essentials, these 6 essence points, these cannot be seen in any other dharma or any other way. In Sanatana Dharma alone, number 1, it is an internal entity and not an external one. Number 2, we are responsible for our happiness or sorrow. Number 3, God is within every one of us. Number 4, your duty itself can be a form of worship of God. Number 5, we have got a lot of scientific facts within. Number 6, surrender to a guru. Now, let us see one by one. What is the first point? First point. Sanatana Dharmam is not an external entity. It is within each one of us, because in the universe, each organism has an intrinsic attribute, inherent attribute, exclusive and particular to its species. You can see in many organisms, each organism has some inherent quality. It is specific to that species. For example, one poet in Tamil, he sings, "Kozhiyai paaru kaalayil vizhikkum, குருவியை பாரு சோம்பலை பழிக்கும், காக்கையை பாரு கூடி பிழைக்கும், சேவல் கூட தூங்கும் உலகை கூவி எழுப்பும் குரலாலே, ஏவல் செய்யும் காவல் காக்கும் நாய்களும் தங்கள் குணத்தாலே, இறை கிடைத்தாலும் இல்லை என்றாலும் உறவை வளர்க்கும் காக்கைகளே." Each organism has some specific action. If we see crows, they join together, they flock together and have their food. Thus is the Sanatana Dharmam of crows. You see cuckoo, it sings sweetly. That is the Sanatana Dharmam of a cuckoo. If you see a parrot, it repeats what you speak. It is the Sanatana Dharmam of parrot. You see a dog, it wags its tail with gratefulness. That is the Sanatana Dharmam of a dog. Similarly, we human beings, for our species, we have to develop certain ideal qualities to be a perfect human being. If you want to attain great things in life, a human being should follow certain internal qualities which are actually intrinsic and internal and inherent for human being. But we are keeping it latent. We are not unleashing them. We have to just bring them out. So the Sanatana Dharmam is nothing but the basic principles, the basic ethics which have to be followed by everyone. I am not saying this on my own. We have got this term Sanatana Dharmam in many places in our scriptures. When you just go into research, in Mahabharatam, the Sanatana Dharmam word has been used 157 times. In Mahabharatam, the word Sanatana Dharmam has been used 157 times. In Ramayanam, it has been used 8 times. In Bhagavata Puranam, it has been used 8 times. In Manusmriti, Sanatana Dharmam word has been used 7 times. In all these places, Sanatana Dharmam has not been mentioned as a religion, has not been mentioned as a way of worship. Rather, it has been defined as a way of life which gives you ideal practices, ideal principle, ethics which have to be followed by every human being, as we saw, wagging tail with gratefulness. That is the Sanatana Dharma of a dog. Similarly, singing sweetly, it is the Sanatana Dharma of a cuckoo. Similarly, if there is a human being, he has some intrinsic qualities, basic principles. To be simple, if a human being wakes up in the morning, first we have to brush our teeth. That is also a Sanatana Dharma. It's an intrinsic quality. We have to brush our teeth. Then we have to bath before taking food. Before taking food, definitely we have to bath and then do our puja and then take our food. That is also Sanatana Dharma. We should show compassion and love to all creatures. That is Sanatana Dharma. We have to respect our parents and elders. That is Sanatana Dharma. We have to honor friendship. That is Sanatana Dharma. We have to keep up our word. That is Sanatana Dharma. We should be a good citizen. That is Sanatana Dharma. Similarly, we have to help others. That is Sanatana Dharma. In Manu Smriti, Manu says, what is Sanatana Dharmam? Yesha Dharma Sanatanaha, says Manu, Satyam Bruyat, Priyam Bruyat, Nabruyat Satyam Apriyam, Priyam cha Nandritam Bruyat, Yesha Dharma Sanatanaha. This word is found in Manu Smriti. Manu defines what is Sanatana Dharmam. You speak the truth. You speak the truth which is sweet for others. Just because words are sweet, don't speak false words. Just because it is truth, don't speak words which are not sweet. So speak sweetly, speak only the truth. This is Sanatana Dharmam, says Manu. Similarly, in Manu Smriti, he says we have to respect and honor women, because in general people have a different opinion about Manu. But I will quote a verse from Manu Smriti. This is in original Manu Smriti. Manu says we have to respect women in Sanatana Dharmam. How? Yatra naryastu pujyante ramante tatra devataha yatraitastu na pujyante sarvas tatra apalah kriyaha, says Manu. Where women are honored and respected, there all bliss will be conferred by devas. But when a person disrespects a woman, there nothing will happen, nothing good will happen. Devas will just curse those people and places. This has been said by Manu himself. Similarly, Vriddaucha Mata Pitaro Sadvi Bharya Suta Shishuhu. Manu says a son or a daughter, they have to take care of his parents, mother and father, and in their old age. This is a part of Sanatana Dharmam. Taking care of our parents, respecting them, offering our namaskaram to them. This is Sanatana Dharmam. Our Smriti says, what are all Sanatana Dharmam? Kshama. We have to endurance, that patience. We should develop that quality called patience. That is Sanatana Dharmam. Satyam, speaking the truth. Damaha, controlling your senses and mind. Shaucham, be pure inside and outside. Danam, charity. Indriya Nigraha, controlling our senses. Ahimsa, don't harm other creatures. Guru Susrusha, serving your Guru. Tirthanusaranam Tata, going to holy pilgrimage, like Mahakumbh we saw recently. So this pilgrimage. And then Arjavam, honesty. What you think you should speak. What you speak you should walk the talk. That is called Arjavam, honesty. Lobhashunyatvam, don't be greedy. Deva Brahmana Pujanam, respect elders. Anabhyasuyacha, don't be jealous on others. These are all constituting Sanatana Dharmam. We can see in Vishnu Smriti. Similarly, the word Sanatana Dharmam has been used by Lord Rama himself. Rama about Sanatana Dharmam, where in Ramayanam, Ayodhya Kandam, Rama is proceeding to forest. Now Lakshmana and Kausalya try to convince Rama, no, you please don't go to forest. Your father might have said this, no. Because of some situation, Dasharatha has taken a wrong decision. You need not go to forest. They are all telling Rama. Rama replies, Pitur niyoge statavyam yesha dharma sanatanaha. This is there in Ayodhya Kandam. Valmiki Shlokam. Rama says, this is Sanatana Dharmam. What is Sanatana Dharmam? Pitur niyoge statavyam. When a father gives an instruction, the son should abide by it. This is called Sanatana Dharmam. So, the entire word Sanatana Dharmam, all the places where all Sanatana Dharmam has been used, all those places refer to an intrinsic way of life, an internal transformation. So, mere speaking about Sanatana Dharmam outside is not going to bring in any change. We have have to internalize that Sanatana Dharmam. We have to undergo some internal transformation. What are all the dharmas enlisted? What are all the qualities which constitute the Sanatana Dharmam? If we develop those qualities, that is true Sanatana Dharmam. So, the difference between Sanatana Dharmam and other religions or other ways is, others are extrinsic and external. Sanatana Dharmam is intrinsic and internal. This is the first essence. Now coming to number 2. Our own actions are responsible for our rise or downfall in Sanatana Dharmam. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Uddharet Atmana Atmanam, Natmanam Avasadayet, Atmaiva hi Atmano Bandhuhu, Atmaiva Ripuratmanaha, Bandhuratmatmanastasya Yena Atmaiva Atmanajitaha, Anatmanastu Shatrutve Varteta Atmaiva Shatruvat. We are responsible for our own rise or downfall, whatever it is. It's we who are responsible. In Tamil, Purananuru, Kaniyan Punguntranar says, Yadum ure yavarum kelir, Tidum nandrum perantaravara. This has been explained beautifully in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. How we are responsible for our own rise or downfall. In the movie Basha, you might have seen, Un Valkai Un Kaiyil, there is a statement. Un Valkai Un Kaiyil in the auto of Mr. Rajinikanth. That's what we say. You are responsible for your rise or your downfall. Un Valkai Un Kaiyil. This has been explained in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, a rishi named Arthabhaga, he asks Yajnavalkya, another rishi, the question asked by Arthabhaga is, who accompanies a man after death? Open question to all of you. Who accompanies a man after death? Any answers? This has been put forward by Arthabhaga to Yajnavalkya in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Who accompanies a man after death? Any answers? Yajnavalkya answers, karma accompanies a man after death. Whatever deeds you do, your deeds and the effect of your deeds will accompany you even after death. Nobody else will come with you but your deeds. They will definitely come with you and definitely they will give whatever it is. If you have done good deeds, then you will get good merits, happiness, afterlife or in the next birth. If we have done some sins, definitely those sins, the bad effects of those sins, definitely we have to endure afterlife or in the next birth. This is the answer given by Yajnavalkya. Karma accompanies a man after death. This is the answer. I will give you one example so that you will not forget this concept. There was a green grocer, a Kariga Vyapari, a green grocer in our Kodavasal market. He used to donate one snake god per day to a Vedic scholar. Every day, that green grocer used to donate one snake god to a Vedic Pandit every day. That Vedic Pandit did something out of it and he used to consume that. Time passed. In the next birth, this green grocer in Kodavasal market, he was born as a great king. He was an emperor. He was full of riches. He was just amazed by his wealth. He himself got amazed. He went to an astrologer, gave his horoscope and asked him, how am I so much rich? I am leading a very contented life. May I know the reason for my richness? He asked. The astrologer examined his horoscope and told him, in your previous birth, you were a green grocer in Kodavasal market. You used to donate one snake god a day to a Vedic Pandit. As a result of which, you have now become a great king, great emperor, full of riches. Okay, the king returned to his palace, summoned all his ministers. You go to all the markets, buy all the snake gods immediately. Why should you buy all the snake gods? Bring everything. Yes, snake gods were all brought to the palace. He then summoned many Vedic Pandits. The king said, by giving one snake god per day to one Vedic scholar, I have become an emperor. Now being an emperor, I will give many snake gods to many Vedic scholars so that I will become the king of many kings for many generations to come. Planning so, he started giving many snake gods in charity to many Vedic scholars, and this was going on and on so that people were unable to buy snake god in market at all. How can they buy? Wholesale purchase was done directly from the palace itself. In the next birth, the same emperor, he was born as a wholesale green grocer in Coimbatore market. In that birth, he went on selling snake gods. Once he went to an astrologer. He showed his horoscope. Please examine. The astrologer examined. He told him, 2 births back, you were a small scale greengrocer in Kodavasal market. You donated 1 snake guard per day to a Vedic scholar so that you became an emperor. During your tenure as emperor, you donated many snake guards to many Vedic scholars for many days. You became a whole scale greengrocer in Coimbatore market. Now he asked, no. This seems some irony is there. No. When I have donated many snake gods to many Vedic scholars, I should have become the Indra, the king of heaven. How can I become another whole-scale greengrocer? The astrologer replied, when you are a greengrocer, donating 1 snake god per day is a great charity. But when you become a king, you should give donation up to that scale. Even after becoming a king, you think of only snake guard only, you will donate only snake guard, then you have to become a greengrocer only. So, how you think, how you act, that determines your next janma, next birth. So, if a greengrocer, to his level, he donates 1 snake guard, that's a great donation, that karma has accompanied him. But even after becoming a king, he didn't give much in charity, that also has accompanied him. So whatever you do, that karma will definitely accompany you. This is the theory put forth by Sanatana Dharma, the karma theory. Because I will give you one example. A foreigner came to Kanchi Mahaswami, Kanchi Mahapriyava, and he asked, what is the difference between Sanatana Dharma and other religions? Oh, Kanchi Shankaracharya asked him to go to a hospital and just examine the newborn babies who are born on that day. He went to government hospital, 10 newborn babies were born, he just examined them, came back. Now Kanchi Shankaracharya asked him, how many of them were born with congenital anomalies? 10 babies were born. How many had got congenital anomalies? Congenital anomaly. At birth itself, they might have got some diseases. How many? 3, he said. Now, Kanchi Mahapriyava asked him, if by your concept, there is no previous birth, other religions don't accept rebirth, only Sanatana Dharma accepts. If there is no previous birth, this child has not committed any sin so far. When God is so compassionate, why should God punish this child with a congenital anomaly? You have to accept either one thing. 1, there is no God at all. 2, if there is a God, he has no compassion at all. But Sanatana Dharma can answer this. There is God, yes. He has compassion, yes. Then why this child has congenital anomaly? Because in his previous birth, he might have committed some sin, as a result of which, in this birth, he is having some congenital anomaly. This answer can be given only in Sanatana Dharma. This is the second essence, karma theory. So karma always follows. To remember this, I will tell you one more story. There was a man. He had 4 friends, A, B, C, D. Usually in stories, we have stopped telling names these days. Usually while telling stories, we say Ramu, Krishna, all these names we would say. But the tolerance level of people has come down a lot these days. Because if we tell some name, then somebody will put a case on us. No, how can you use this name? So, no name, only A, B, C, D. A person has 4 friends. Now, this friend D, he is very handsome. So, our man also always accompanies this D. He looks very handsome. I will be with him, he thinks. Number C. He is very rich. So, our man has some friendship with C. Why? He is rich, he will give some money. He has another friend B. He is very influential. So, whenever there is some problem, this B can help. So, he has some friendship with him. There is another friend A. That A always accompanies this man, but this man never bothers about A. Time passes. So, he thinks D is handsome, I want him with me. I am living for D. C, he is rich, he will give me money. B, he is influential, he will help me. A, no, he is just saying with me. No, I won't heed to him, I won't listen to him, I won't bother about him. This fellow says. Now, the time came. The messengers of Yama, they are casting the whip on him. Pasakairu Tamil, that whip, they are casting on this body and they are taking the soul away. Now, this man, he calls out his 4 friends. First friend, who will he call? D, handsome boy, please come. He said, no. During your life I was with you. You are calling me to Yamaloka? No, I will not come. You go alone, he said. He then called C. Oh, rich fellow C, please come with me. He said, if you ask money, I can give. If you ask life, can I give? No, you go. He called B. Oh, you are an influential person. B said, I am influential only in this world, not with Yamaloka. Please, you go alone. Now, without calling, this A accompanied that man. He went with A. Wait. Who is that D? Who is that C? Who is that B? Who is that A? More importantly, who is that man? That man is each one of us. We are all that man. We have got 4 friends. The friend D is our body. It appears very handsome. We develop biceps, triceps, 6 packs, everything. We think this body is handsome. We are living for this body alone. We all think. But when Yama calls us, this body won't come with us. So D forsakes that man. C, he is very rich. I said, no. C is what we have earned. All our wealth, that is C. It is very rich. We have got a lot of wealth. But when the man goes, another person will take all those riches. That's all. It won't come with us. B, influential person. That's our friends and relatives. They will help when we are in danger. But when we are about to encounter death, they cannot help us. They won't be able to help us. But A is our karma, whether you believe it or not, whether you heed to it or not, whether you listen to it or not, whether you bother about it or not, but that karma is bound to travel with you. This is the ultimate concept of Sanatana Dharmam, karma theory. So this is essence number 2. So essence number 1. Essence number 1, it is not external, it is internal. We have to develop qualities. Essence number 2, this karma is going to accompany us, and that karma is responsible for our happiness or sorrow. Swami Vivekananda has said one beautiful thing regarding this. When your past deeds are going to decide your present, then your future will be decided by your present deeds. So act in the present. Yesterday is a broken pot. Tomorrow is may or may not. Today strike the rod that is hot. நேற்று என்பது உடைந்த பானை, நாளை என்பது மதில் மேல் பூனை, இன்று என்பது கையில் உள்ள வீணை. We have got this life. When we perform good actions, your tomorrow will be good. This is the essence of Sanatana Dharma number 2. Now coming to the essence number 3. God is within everyone. Because in all other faiths you can see, God is limited to particular abode. God is limited to a particular place. No, but in Sanatana Dharma, God is within everyone. This has been explained by all our scriptures. You need not search for God outside alone. Yes, God is there in temples. God is there in our home. God is there in His divine abode. As much as He is there, He is within us also. Puihi Alvar says, Ulan kandai nannenje, Uttaman yendrum ulan kandai, Vellattin ullanum, Vengadattu meyanum, Ullattin ullan endru vor. The same Lord who reclines in Milky Ocean, the same Lord who stands on the hill of Thiruvenkadam, the same Lord resides in the heart of each one of us. Each one of us, no doubt about it. Each one of us, within every one of us, God is living. This has been explained beautifully in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and Ramanuja in his Sri Bhashyam comments on this area very beautifully. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the statement comes, Aham Brahmasmi, I am God. Ramanuja defines this area beautifully. When you say I am God, how can we interpret that? Ramanuja gives an interpretation. God is within everyone. Everything is the body of God. You take this table, inside that table God dwells. This table is body of God. Similarly, you take a chair, God is within that chair also. Similarly, we have this body, a soul within this body. Having the soul as his body, God dwells within that individual soul also. Just take this example. Body, individual soul within the body. Similarly, having the individual soul as his body, God dwells even within that individual soul. Since God dwells within that individual soul, you can say, I am God. How can you say I am God? When God lives with me, within me, can I proclaim that I am God? Ramanuja gives an example. If I am thirsty now, I am not thirsty, but I am just hypothetically saying, if I am thirsty, I will call a friend, please bring me a glass of water. He brings a glass of water. I ask him, what did you bring? Is it water or a glass? He says, I brought you water. Now you tell me whether he brought a container with water or he brought water. But what does he say? I have brought you water. He says, I have brought you water. But what he brings? Container with water. How can he call container as water? Because the container which contains water can be called water itself. தண்ணீரை உடைய பாத்திரத்தை தண்ணீர்னே சொல்லுவோம். அப்பா தண்ணி கொடுங்கிறோம், அது பாத்திரம் தான். If a container contains water within, the container itself gets the name called water. Similarly, the Jivatma is a container, Paramatma is like the water within. Jivatma, which is the container, which contains the water called Paramatma, can be called Paramatma himself, because container with water can be called water itself. Jivatma with Paramatma inside can be called Paramatma itself. For that matter, will container and water become one and the same? No, container is different, water is different. Similarly, Jivatma and Paramatma are different, but at the same time, since Paramatma is within Jivatma, we can say Aham Brahmasmi, because God is within me. Not only me, God is within everyone. Just like the soul dwells within this body, God dwells within everyone, having everything as his body. This has been proclaimed in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Yav Prithvyam Tittan, Prithvya Antaraha, Yam Prithvina Veda, Yasya Prithvi Shariram, Yav Prithvim Antaro Yamayati, Yeshata Atma Antaryami Amritaha. He has this entire earth as his body. He is different from earth. He dwells within earth. Earth doesn't know God. But without God, earth cannot function. He is God. He dwells within sky. He is different from sky. He controls the sky. Sky doesn't know him, but without him sky cannot function. He is God. He dwells within fire. He is different from fire. He controls fire. Fire doesn't know him, but without him fire cannot function. He is God. Ya Atmani Tittan, Atmano Antaraha, Yam Atmana Veda, Yasya Atma Shariram, Ya Atmana Mantaro Yamayati, Yeshata Atma Antaryami Amritaha. He dwells within Jivatma. Jivatma is different from him. He internally controls his Jivatma. Jivatma may not know him, but without him, this Jivatma cannot function. He is the Lord. So God is everywhere. Everything is the body of God. So we do not see this universe as a separate entity from God. This is the third essence of Sanatana Dharma. We don't see this universe as a separate entity. Rather, this whole universe is the form of God. It is the body of God. We see God within every object and everything in this universe. That's why in our body you can see one pattern. If you strike one part of your body, the rest of body will also feel the pain. I am right? If you hit one part of your body, the rest of the body will feel the pain. Similarly, the whole universe is the body of God. That's why if you hit one part, the other part will also feel the pain. Inga adicha anga valikum, we say in Tamil. If you build too many multi-story buildings on the land, sea will get angry and bring tsunami. Because everything is the body of God. Land is also body of God. Sea is also body of God. When you cut trees on the land, your sky will become angry and it won't give you rain. Because if you hit here, the pain will be felt there. Everything is the body of God. So we see everything as a whole single unit. Take an example. If your right hand is injured, what will your left hand do? It will just bring some medicine and apply on the injured part. Your eyes, they will shed tears. Your nose will get blocked due to the tears shed by the eyes. Your tongue, it will just say, oh, I am feeling the pain. That tongue will say. And then your heart, mind, it will feel that pain. Your legs, it will go to the home of a doctor, to a clinic of a doctor. So the injury was only to the right hand, but the rest of the body also feels that pain. Similarly, if you hit one part of the universe, the entire universe will get hit, because the whole thing, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, it's like a string of beads. Sutre manigana iva. You have got a string, a thread. Many beads are tied to that string or thread. Externally, you cannot see that thread. What will you see? Beads. But The invisible thread alone connects all those beads, and without that invisible thread, no bead can exist. Similarly, God is that invisible thread. We are all those beads. What the problem is, we are all seeing everyone as independent entities, as different entities, because we are unable to see the invisible thread called God, who is connecting all of us. Actually, we are all mere beads, and there is God who is connecting all of us, because if there is no string or no thread, can those beads exist as a whole? No, they will fall away. Whenever there is a string of beads, if those beads are able to sustain, it's only because of that invisible string, without which they cannot sustain. Similarly, we are all sustaining here, we are all living here, we are sitting here, we are able to listen, at least without sleeping we are able to listen. That means God is there connecting all of us. We are all constituting a single unit only. If we realize this thing, we will get some benefits. If we realize this thing, will we see any discrimination based on caste, creed, color, race, language, nation, anything? No. We are all connected to the same string. That same Bhagavan, he is connecting all of us. These bodily differences, he is tall, he is short, he is dark, he is fair. These are all bodily differences. He belongs to this caste, this creed, this religion, this race. These are all body-based differences. But when we start to look at the soul, all the individual souls, they are all similar in nature, and all those souls are sustained by the one Paramatma, one God, single God, who is the thread connecting all of us. When we start to focus on that God, we will start to love our neighbor as we would love ourselves. We would love other people as we would take care of ourselves. Now, if we realize this, there will be no room for jealousy. There will be no room for any hatred, because can we hate our own selves? We are all beads in the same string. Can we hate our own selves? And another thing, we should not blame others. When we realize that we are all constituting a same unit, is there any use in blaming another person within the same unit? No. So interpersonal relationships, everything will develop if we observe this policy. So we have to realize that God is within everyone, and God is connecting everyone. He is the invisible thread. When we are sitting here, our chairs may be dissociated from each other, our bodies may be dissociated from each other, to some extent our minds may be dissociated from each other, but there is one invisible thread called Bhagavan, who is still connecting all of us, and because of that connection only we are able to sustain together. We have to realize that. To make us realize, Lord Krishna performed a Krishna Leela, because this is high philosophy, technical point, may be difficult for somebody to understand. But Lord Krishna performed a Leela. Krishna Leela is easy to understand for everybody. What Lord Krishna did is, he went to steal butter from a home in Ayarpadi. That lady, she took a stick in her hand and went to beat Krishna. She just took that stick, that Gopika, and just beat Krishna with full force. What happened? Pillai Perumal Kavi sings, Kadikkum Pirai Vevvalayitru Kaliyan Mel, Nadikkum Periya Perumal Thiruvarangar, Narai Kamal Paal, Kudikkum Kadavukku Marugondu, Oru Gopikai Patri Adikkum Bududu. Krishna didn't feel the pain. Padinal Ulagum Adipattanave, all the 14 worlds felt that pain. Because all the 14 worlds constitute the body of Lord Krishna. If you hit him, all the 14 worlds will feel the pain, because he is inside all the 14 worlds. So God is within everyone. Essence number 3. So the take home message is, when we know that God is within everyone, we should not hate others. God is within him also. He may be an atheist, he may be following some other religion or faith, no doubt, but our God, he dwells within him also. So we should not hate others, we should not have jealousy, we should not have hatred. This is point number 3. Now coming to point number 4. In Sanatana Dharma only, your work, your job, your occupation, that itself can become a form of worship of God. Because in all other faiths, you have to perform some pujas or some form of ritualistic worship. Yes, we have got those worship also in Sanatana Dharma. Of course, we have to do puja and other things also. In addition to that, your daily duty, your job, your occupation, that itself can become a form of worship of God. This is exclusive to Sanatana Dharma. Essence number 4. Where can we see? In Bhagavad Gita. Just look at the premise of Bhagavad Gita. Whenever you think of Bhagavad Gita, what will come to your mind? Again, audience question. 35 minutes of my talk is over. Whenever you think of Bhagavad Gita, one picture should come to your mind. Kurukshetra, Arjuna's chariot with Hanuman's flag flying above, 7 Akshauhini Pandava Sena on one side, 11 Akshauhini Kaurava Sena on other side, Krishna standing with a smile, gentle smile, Arjuna prostrating in front of him with confusion. Am I right? This concept will flash across all of your minds. Now, why did Arjuna break down in the middle of this war? Isn't he a great warrior? Can a warrior break down when a fight, a war is about to start, that too an epic battle? Because Ramanuja and Swami Vedanta Deshika observe this and say, this Arjuna breaking down in the battlefield of Kurukshetra refers to our own mental turmoil. That premise of Gita, that picture, it is vivid in your minds because that is our own mental picture. That's why whenever we think of Bhagavad Gita, that picture comes to us. Because that Kurukshetram, our mind is also a Kurukshetram. Our mind is a battlefield. In Kurukshetra, the battle lasted only for 18 days. But our mental turmoil is going on and on with so much of negativities, so much of depression, so much of confusion, mental turmoil. So our Kurukshetra, this mind is called Kurukshetra. We have got 7 Akshauhini Pandava Sena, 11 Akshauhini Kaurava Sena. The 7 Akshauhini Pandava Sena is our good thoughts. 11 Akshauhini Kaurava Sena is our evil thoughts. In mind also, evil is more than good, more in number. So there also, Kauravas are more in number. In our mind also, evil thoughts are more in number than good thoughts. Now, this Jivatma is Arjuna. You may be a doctor or a professor or a student or entrepreneur, whatever it is. Whatever job you are now looking after, you are all Arjunas because we are all caught in the Kurukshetra of our mind between good thoughts on one side, evil thoughts on other side. Now this Arjuna Jivatma develops some attachment to Kauravas, right? That's why he doesn't want to fight. Similarly, this Jivatma has some attachment to those evil thoughts. That's why he is landed up in a fix. He can't go this way, he can't go that way. What shall I do? Whether to fight or not? Once I have summoned all this army, should I fight? At the same time, my relatives, friends, elders are there. Should I not fight? No. What can I do? He prostrates in front of Lord Krishna. Karpanya doshopahata swabhavaha prichhami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha yachreyasya nishitam bruhitan me sishyasteham shadhi mam tvam prapannam. So this Arjuna doesn't know what to do. Same case for us also. Now Lord Krishna gives the treatment for this problem. We have got many medical problems and many medical solutions. But Lord Krishna, Lord is the doctor of all doctors. We say Vaidyo Narayano Harihi. Because other medicines, there are many forms of medicine, allopathy, homeopathy, naturopathy. They can cure bodily ailments. But when it comes to the disease of the soul, this such as mental ailments, allopathy, homeopathy, naturopathy cannot cure. Venkatachalapathy alone can cure. That's why God himself comes as the great doctor. Martuvana Nindra Bhamani Vandan. So Lord Krishna now gives the solution. He gives the treatment. What is the treatment? Do your duty. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetur bhuhu ma te sangostu akarmani. Now Krishna instructs Arjuna, you do your duty properly. That is the treatment for this mental turmoil. Whenever you have any mental turmoil, just relax yourself. Because with so much of emotions, we cannot act properly. Just relax, leave away all those emotions, just think of what is your duty. Don't focus on the result, just focus on the work. That's why ma phaleshu kadachana. Don't focus on the result, just focus on the work and do your duty. And do that duty how? Swakarmana tam abhyarchya siddhim vindati manavaha. Do your duty as a form of worship of God. If you do that duty in that proper way, then your mind will become pure. all the impurities and past sins, their imprints, vasanas, they all get destroyed. Your mind becomes pure. When a mirror is pure, you can see the reflection of your face clearly. When your mind is pure, pure thoughts and clear reflections will flash across your mind. And when you get that clarity of mind, you can win over this mental turmoil, because if Arjuna does his duty, Pandava army will destroy Kaurava army. If we do our duty, our good thoughts Pandava army will destroy our evil thoughts Kaurava army. That is the real Mahabharata war, and that is the real victory. So your ultimate and daily duties, they all constitute a way of worship of God. Ramanuja, in his commentary to Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, 34th verse, Ramanuja writes, you may be looking after a laukika job, a worldly occupation, a mundane occupation it could be. But Ramanuja says, 1000 years ago, Ramanuja Bhashyam, Tadevam laukikani sharira dharanarthani nitya naimittikani vaidikani cha karmani madarpanam kurvan. Whatever job you do, you may be a teacher, you may be a professor, you may be a doctor, you may be an auditor, you may be a collector, you may be a lawyer, you may be an engineer, you may be an entrepreneur, you may be a businessman. Okay, do that duty with ultimate response to dharma. We have to be within the limits of dharma. So do your duty with the dharmic conscience and have the feeling that I am not doing, I am just an instrument, God is doing. So without arrogance, we should think that I am an instrument in the hands of God. With that kartritva buddhi tyagam, don't say that I am doing. Number 2, mamata tyagam. Don't say it is my work. That attachment you should not have. Rather consider it as a worship of God. This is puja. So don't consider it as my work. Leave that attachment. Number 3, phala tyagam. Leave the attachment to worldly benefits you get out of that. If a doctor treats the patient always thinking about the fees, will the treatment be good? No. We have to treat the patient so that God within the patient should be satisfied. If you do so, the patient's disease will also get cured. At the same time, your fees will come automatically, no problem. So, if you have these 3 kinds of sacrifice, kartritva buddhi tyagam, mamata tyagam, phala tyagam, leave the notion that I am doing, leave the attachment my job, leave the attachment to the laukika palan or worldly benefit which comes out of that job. If we do your job with these 3 aspects, that job will also constitute a part of your daily worship of God. Now your daily worship itself has undergone a transformation. Not only in puja room you are a devotee, even in your work room, even in your occupational place, you are a devotee. Even in your school or college, a student, he reads all his lessons properly, he studies, he obeys the words of his teachers and professors, then he is doing karma yoga, he is worshipping God. So this concept is again exclusive to Sanatana Dharma alone. This is number 4. So if we do all our duty properly, see God in everything, Brahmarpanam, Brahma Havihi, Brahmagnau, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaivatena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. Krishna says, the investment in job, God is within it. The investor, God is within him. The client, God is within him. The place of job, God is within that. Adam Brahmarpanam, Brahma Havihi, Brahma Agnau, Brahmanahutam. So everything, they are all body of God. God is within. We have to realize this is the 4th essence of Sanatana Dharma. And number 5, we have got a lot of additional scientific benefits in Sanatana Dharma. Because all our daily practices, routine activities, they have a lot of scientific facts within. Of course, the main purpose of our anuttanams and other things is spiritual advancement only. Spiritual benefits are main benefits. At the same time, we have got supplementary additional scientific benefits also. Let us see some examples. Can anybody define vaccine? What is vaccine? Vaccine. Recently you might have got Covishield, Covaxin. What is a vaccine? Tadapusi. Definition. Vaccine, Tadapusi is translation. Definition. Whichever germ causes a disease, you kill or attenuate the same germ and give it to a person to prevent the same disease. For example, COVID virus causes COVID-19. You kill that COVID virus or attenuate or weaken it, make it into an inactive form, give it to the patient so that he won't get COVID again, preventive. Am I right? For example, anti-snake venom. We take snake venom itself, process it, give it to the patient, it serves as treatment for snake bite. This definition, will you believe if I say this definition was given by Narada? That too 5,000 years back. No, in 1785, Edward Jenner invented vaccination. But in Bhagavata Puranam, 1st Skandam, 5th Adhyayam, 33rd Shlokam, Narada says to Vedavyasa in 3102 BC, Amayo yascha bhutanam jayate yena suvrata tadevahi amayam dravyam napunati chikitsitam. This shloka you can refer 1533 in Bhagavatam. Amayo yascha bhutanam jayate yena suvrata. By which organism disease is caused to all people, Tadevahi amayam dravyam, that can be processed and made into a medicine. Na punati chikitsitam, it can be preventive as well as treating purpose also. Narada has said this. He says this for the sake of karma yogam, because we say our karma is the reason for our birth. So samsara disease, we have this worldly existence, this disease. The reason is karma. Now Narada says, just like you process the disease causing organism and give it in another form so that disease is cured. Now you just process this karma and give it as karma yogam so that the disease of karma is cured, the disease of samsaram is cured. This has been said by Narada to Vedavyasa. So we have got vaccination in those reads itself. Similarly, we have got another Ayurvedic text, Madhava Nidhanam. In that Madhava Nidhanam, many centuries before, Madhava has spoken about vaccination in his work also. One more thing, can the fetus in the womb of the mother, can it listen to external sounds? Yes, Dr. Sir has accepted. Because there has been a lot of research conducted in Japan regarding this, and they say beyond 6 months of gestation, the fetus can listen to all external sounds. But our Itihasa Puranas have recorded this. Prahlada, while he was in the womb of his mother Kayadu, he listened to the singing of Narayana's names by Narada, and therefore Prahlada became a great devotee at birth itself. Garbhashrima. Abhimanyu listened to how to enter into Chakravyuha while he was in the womb of his mother, but he couldn't listen how to come out of that. That we see in Mahabharatam. Not only that, we do Seemantonayanam, right? Seemantam. Like baby shower ceremony they say in English, but we do Seemantonayanam. In that Seemantam, there is a specific Vedic injunction that we have to chant specific Vedic mantras using Veena. Because Seemantam is done by 6 to 8 months of gestation. When you chant those Vedic mantras in Veena, the child will listen to it and it may be born as Prahlada or Andal. So we have got that scientific concept in Seemantam. And coming to the next point, our Navagraha system. Many people are questioning, your Navagraham is geocentric. Navagraham is geocentric or heliocentric? Geocentric means earth at the center. Heliocentric means sun at the center. In our system of Navagraham, either earth is at the center or the sun is at the center. Geocentric or heliocentric? Heliocentric. Every day we say this shloka, Dhyaya Sada Savitri Mandala Madhyavarti Narayanaha. Surya Narayana is situated at the midpoint of this entire solar system. We say heliocentric. Not only that, in temples there is Navagraha Sannidhi, right? Please go and check once. In that Navagraha Sannidhi, sun will be in the center and all the planets will be revolving around the sun. But in some practical calculation purpose, we assume that earth is at the center. Because we are in a moving object. Earth is always moving, revolving around the sun. When you are in a moving place, it is difficult to calculate things. So for calculation purpose, we assume that earth is not moving, it is at the center. But we know very well, in Aryabhata's Surya Siddhanta and all other books, we see clearly that earth is revolving around the sun is at the center. Ours is heliocentric theory only. But why didn't you add Uranus, Neptune and all to our Navagraham? Do we have Uranus, Neptune in Navagraham? No. Why? Because their gravity does not have much effect on our earth. That's why we have not included. That Navagraham is based on the celestial bodies whose effect can cause obvious changes on this earth. Those planets alone we have taken into consideration. Okay, leave Uranus, Neptune. How sun and moon can become Graham? In Navagraham you have got sun and moon, right? Sun is a Graham? No, sun is a star. Moon is a Graham? No, moon is a satellite. Now how can they come under Graham? The problem is Britishers have whitewashed us. Britishers have wrongly taught us that Graham means planet. Who said Graham means planet? By Sanskrit definition, Graha means a celestial object with gravitational force. Graha means celestial object with gravitational force. Sun is a celestial object with gravitational force, right? Moon is a celestial object with gravitational force, right? So they also come under the category called Graha. Planet, satellite, sun definition is different. Graha definition is different. So their gravity will exert some force on this earth. That's why they have been classified as Grahas. Okay. Why are you saying Rahu, Ketu? Can those snakes exist? Can they exist? If a snake has to swallow sun or moon, how much big it should be? Rahu and Ketu are the two nodes of moon. It has been proven scientifically, astronomically. There are two lunar nodes, ascending node of moon, descending node of moon. When the orbit of moon and the orbit of earth meet at these 2 points only, Grahanam eclipse will happen. One is ascending node, other is descending node. The ascending node of moon is called Rahu, descending node of moon is called Ketu. The proof is the ascending and descending lunar nodes are placed at 180 degree apart. Similarly, if you look at the horoscope boxes, there will be 12 boxes. Rahu and Ketu will be 6 boxes apart, 180 degree apart. So, what a great scientific temper they should have got, so that without a telescope, they have found out those minute, invisible intersection points, and in our Panchangam Almanac, they are able to calculate the day of Grahanam perfectly. Means what great scientific analysis and temper our great ancestors had got. You can just think of that. Another thing, recently, last year, I went to Geneva for a Bhagavata Saptaham Upanyasam. I delivered in Geneva. At that time, I had been to CERN, Central European Nuclear Research Institute. I was surprised to see a statue of Lord Nataraja there. CERN is nuclear research. What they are doing is, they are colliding all photon particles, microparticles, they are colliding in bubble chamber photography. They are all researching that particles, and the particles are created, particles are destroyed, they get collided, destroyed, creation, collide, destroy, creation. This is going on. In that area, there is an idol of Lord Nataraja from Chidambaram. I inquired, and then they suggested to have a glance at the book, The Tao of Physics, written by the scientist Fridtjof Capra. Fridtjof Capra, in Tao of Physics, he writes, Lord Nataraja is the most simple, expressible form of particle physics. How? They are doing bubble chamber photography, right? They observed that the number of particles created was exactly equal to the number of particles destroyed. Now look at Lord Shiva, dancing Lord Shiva. He has got Udukai, that musical instrument, in his right hand. That sound from that musical instrument, drum, signifies creation of particle, because creation came from sound. So that musical drum signifies creation of particles. In his left hand, he carries fire. Fire refers to destruction of particles. Just observe closely. His right hand with that drum, left hand with that fire are at the same level, to show that number of particles created is directly equal to number of particles destroyed. In between, the particles are moving in the bubble chamber. That movement was rhythmic. The movement of particles, the entire movement of the universe, it is rhythmic. That's why we say cosmos. If it has no rhythm, we will call chaos. Chaos, cosmos difference is it has a rhythm. So to show the rhythm of particles between creation and destruction, in between, Nataraja is dancing, because dance always has a rhythm. So the rhythmic dance of Nataraja shows the rhythmic movement of particles. His Udukai instrument drum signifies creation of particles. His fire signifies destruction of particles. Both are at the same level, so that number of particles created is equal to number of particles destroyed. So what is done inside has been shown outside as the form of Lord Nataraja. Means what a great science on particle physics we have got in Lord Nataraja's side. This is the science of Sanatana Dharma. We say we have to wake up early in the morning. Brahme Muhurte Chotaya, we have seen it many times, we have heard it a lot. Brahma Muhurtam. Now a biology professor in Germany named Christopher Randler and another London professor, Dr. Georg Huber, they have conducted research, and they say those people who wake up early in the morning tend to procrastinate things less. They are successful in their jobs with good outcomes. And they also say students who wake up early and study in the morning score good marks than those who study late in the night. These are all researchers. Now one more thing, you might have observed this, in front of Vinayagar temples they do this Topu Karanam, holding alternate ears with their hands. In school also this will be given as some punishment in some schools. I am not sure whether it is done in SDET and all, but in many schools, but it is a good punishment, because if a student does not read well, they ask him to put Topu Karanam. Now scientists have given a new name for that, super brain yoga, SBY. If you clench your alternate ears with your hands and sit, stand, your focus, concentration, memory power will increase, so that student can score good marks. That is a very good form of punishment. No corporal punishment, no scolding, no beating, only super brain yoga. What a great punishment. That scientific punishment also we have got in Sanatana Dharma. So this scientific outlook for a punishment also. Similarly, pranayamam. We are seeing plenty of benefits in yoga and pranayamam in recent days. We are seeing how much it benefits for our health. And then we keep Tulasi Chedi, Tulasi holy basil plant in our homes. Tulasi oxygenates our environment. It has a lot of medical properties. And one more thing, we do namaskaram. We prostrate. When we see great people like Swamiji, they have all come here. We just prostrate in front of them. Why should we prostrate? A scientific explanation has now been given for namaskaram also. The thing is, the scientist who researched on this topic is Dr. Frank Baranowski from Russia. This Frank Baranowski, he says, each human being, each human body, it emanates a lot of microphoton particles. Those microphoton particles will always form a layer around us. That layer is called aura. We say aura, A-U-R-A, right? That aura is these particles emitted from our body. It always surrounds a person. If a person has good positive energy, that volume of microphotons emanated will be more, and that aura will be far from 10 feet, 20 feet, or even up to 50 feet radius around him. Because those people, that's why great sages, saints, in their ashrams, in their hermitages, when we go and see, lion and deer will be friends. Cat and mouse will be friends because of that aura spreading 50 feet, 100 feet radius around them. This aura can be seen using Kirlian camera. That's also given by Dr. Frank Baranowski. The aura of a person, the amount of microphotons he is emanating, can be seen using Kirlian camera. Okay, how you know about that? Have you seen the movie 2.0? In 2.0 movie, Rajinikanth has explained this. Because in 2.0, Akshay Kumar will try all legal means to safeguard birds, but he would be unsuccessful. Akshay Kumar then hangs himself, but the Akshay Kumar's aura, it collects all the mobile phones and it forms a giant bird and flies. I have given scientific explanation for that, because that aura can spread for a lot of distance and it can cover many people. And the main point of that research is the aura, that microphoton, emanates from the great toe of the feet of that person. So, if you prostrate in front of that person, facing their great toes, which are together, their positive energy can be imbibed by you. You also receive the positive energy in the form of grace, Ashirvadam from them. That's why Namaskaram has also got a scientific reason behind that. This has been proved. Similarly, plantain leaf. We use plantain leaf, vada elai for eating. Now scientists have found there is a chemical called EGCG, not ECG. EGCG, epigallocatectin lactate. It is very good for diabetes. It is found in plenty in banana leaf. So use plantain leaf for eating. It has been proved today. So there is lot of things, scientific things which are embedded within our routine practices in our Sanatana Dharma. This is the fifth essence of Sanatana Dharma, because in nowhere else you can see this. Now coming to the last and final, we have to finish with a sixer, right? We have to finish with a sixer. So sixth point, because only when Dhoni finishes the match with a six, people will enjoy. So we have to finish with a six. Point number 6, surrender to a guru. Surrendering to guru is very, very important in Sanatana Dharma, and that is the central theme of Ramayanam also. Can you point out one central theme in Ramayanam? One person asked Swami Vedanta Deshikan. Swami Vedanta Deshika replies in a shlokam in Sankalpa Suryodayam. This is the essence of Ramayanam. Darpo dagra dashendriyana mano naktanchara dhittite dehesmin bhavasindhuna parivrite dinam dasham asthitaha adyatve hanumat samena guruna prakhyapitartah puman lankaruddha videgaraja tanaya nyayena lalapyate. Swami Vedanta Deshika says, this Jivatma is Sita, Paramatma is Rama, Rama is Paramatma. Goddess Mahalakshmi Sita, out of compassion, takes the role of a Jivatma. Have it that way. So Rama is Paramatma, Sita is Jivatma. This Sita is imprisoned in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is surrounded by ocean. So that Sri Lanka, Lanka is the ocean of samsara, worldly existence. This ulagiyal வாழ்க்கை, material world, it is Sri Lanka. Sita is imprisoned in which place in Sri Lanka? Ashokavanam. Ashokavanam has 9 entrances. Ashokavanam is our body. So this Jivatma Sita is imprisoned in this worldly life called Sri Lanka within this body called Ashokavanam. Now this Sita was kidnapped by Ravana. Ravana has how many heads? 10 heads. One student asked his teacher, Ravana's 10 heads will be aligned horizontally or vertically? If they are aligned horizontally, then how will he turn while sleeping in bed? If they are aligned vertically, if he has running nose in the topmost head, how can we clean his nose? Now there is one more interpretation. This Ravana is none other than our own mind, and our mind has got 10 heads, which are our 10 indriyas. Mind is the 11th indriyam. We have got 5 jnanendriyas. 5 jnanendriyas, right? 5 karmendriyas, right? Mei, vai, kan, mook, sevi, we say, are skin, eyes, nose, tongue, ears. 5 jnanendriyas, 5 heads for our mind. Another side, we have got another 5 heads called karmendriyam, our organ of speech, our hands, our legs, organ of urination, organ of defecation. Naku, kai, kal, maladwaram, jaladwaram. So the 10 heads, the 11th indriya mind with those 10 indriyas, this Ravana kidnaps this Jivatma from going to Paramatma, and kidnaps this Jivatma, imprisons this Jivatma Sita in this body Ashokavanam, in this samsaram Sri Lanka. Now this mind Ravana is influenced by 3 people: Sattvagunam, Rajogunam, Tamogunam. Sattvagunam is balanced, Shantam, peaceful. Rajogunam, hyperactive, with a lot of lust, anger. Tamogunam, inactive, with slumber, laziness, ignorance. Sattvagunam is Vibhishanan, Rajogunam is Shurpanakai, Tamogunam is Kumbhakarnan. Now this mind called Ravana, it sends out Vibhishana Sattvagunam and keeps Rajogunam Shurpanaka, Tamogunam Kumbhakarna with him, and that's why this Jivatma suffers in this Ashokavanam, in this worldly life. Now, to save this Sita, who should come? Rama didn't come. Whom did he send? Hanuman, similarly, to save this Jivatma, Rama, Paramatma won't come. He will send an Acharya who is Hanuman. Just like Hanuman crossed the ocean and came here, Acharya comes and takes birth in this universe. Just like Hanuman searched and found out Sita, Acharya searches and finds a good disciple. Just like Hanuman sang the glories of Rama to Sita, Acharya sings the glories of Lord to the disciple. Just like Hanuman gave the mudra ring to Sita, Acharya gives Shankha Chakra mudra on the shoulders of the disciple. Just like Hanuman burnt Lanka, Acharya burns all our sins. Just like Hanuman joined Sita with Rama, Acharya joins this Jivatma with Paramatma. So the only way to attain Paramatma is surrender to that Acharya. Only Hanuman can accomplish that task. In Ramayanam, Sundarakandam is the highlight. Similarly, the Sundarakandam of our life is whenever we attain an Acharya. When Sita saw Hanuman, it is Sundarakandam. When we worship an Acharya, it is Sundarakandam for our life. Swami Deshika says, Darpodagra Dashendriyanana Manonaktanchara Dittite Dehesmin Bhavasindhuna Parivrite Dinam Dasham Asthitaha Adyatve Hanumat Samena Guruna Prakhyapitartaf Puman Lankarudda Videharaja Tanaya Nyayena Lalapyate. So surrendering to a guru, it is the sixth important aspect, which is the essence of Sanatana Dharmam. So our Sanatana Dharmam is not an external thing, it is intrinsic, internal. So from this moment, we will start searching inside and look for the Sanatana Dharmam which is inside, which is the basic ethics, basic principles we have to follow to progress further. Number two, what we saw, this Sanatana Dharmam, we are responsible for our own good and bad, whatever it is. So from this moment, if we start loving others, if we start helping others, if we start doing good things, definitely our future will be very good, no doubt. Un வாழ்க்கை உன் கையில். Number three, God is within everyone. So when we start to look at everyone as the body of God, every body is a temple of God. If we start looking that way, this is the best way for universal brotherhood. We speak a lot about these things. No, so much hatred, so much war, so much other things. But when we start to develop this mentality, Prahlada said, Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlada, how will you behave with friends? How will you behave with your enemies? Prahlada said, your question itself is wrong. No friend nor enemy. Everybody is my friend, because the God who is within me is within everyone as well. So why should I discriminate within people? So this is number three. And number four, we have to do our duty itself as a worship of God. Just think of it. If we start doing it that way, the quality of service in each profession will improve. If a doctor focuses on satisfaction of patient and satisfaction of God within that patient as the only purpose of his treatment, then look at the way the quality of treatment will improve. Similarly, for a teacher or a whatever job, just look at the quality of job. This is number four. Number five, a lot of scientific temper also we saw. If we develop that kind of a scientific temper, just think of it, all our actions, we will know the meaning and the rationale behind that actions. So we will involve ourselves in performing Sanatana Dharma even better. And finally, last but not the least, it is the Guru who is the guiding light, because Gu, it refers to ignorance, Ru refers to removal. Guru, he only removes our ignorance and takes us forward to God. So that Acharya, Guru, if we surrender to that Acharya will take us to great heights. And this is the apt place to speak about all these things, because this is a temple of wisdom, Kalvi Koil. In this SDET, Swami Dayananda Educational Trust, it was founded with the grace of an Acharya, grace of a Guru. And then many other Gurus are there. Not only spiritual Gurus, your teachers, professors, they are all Gurus, guiding all these students in a great manner to not only education, but also with a lot of moral values. So in this type of an institution, which is a temple of wisdom and moral values, I consider it as a great opportunity, and wholeheartedly again thank Madam, Swamiji, all the teachers, faculty, every one of you, and just open it. If there is any questions and if there is time for questions, you are open to ask all your questions. I am ready to answer considering time.
Namaste sir, I am Vishnuvardhan, first become that section, aim for Seva Chatralia student.
Okay.
பெரியவா என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காருன்னா, காஞ்சி பெரியவா சொல்லியிருக்கா, கடல் கடந்து போகிறத வந்து அவர் வந்து என்றைக்குமே ஆதரிச்சதில்லை. அப்படியும் சில பேர் வந்து பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தா, அங்கே போய் நம்மளுடைய கல்ச்சர் சந்தியாவந்தனத்தை வந்து கடைபிடிச்சிட்டு தான் இருந்தா. அப்படியும் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தா. அந்த காலத்தில் பார்த்தோன்னா பிரம்மாவை பார்க்கறதுக்காக ராவணனும் கும்பகாரனும் விபீஷனும் அவ்வளோ ஒரு தீவிரமான தபஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. 10 தலையும் வந்து அறுத்து இதில் போட்டா, அக்னிகுண்டத்தில் வந்து போட்டா. அவ்வளோ ஒரு தீவிரமான தபஸை வந்து பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க அந்த காலத்தில். தமிழில் என்ன சொல்கிறேன்னா, பழையன கழிதலும் புதியன புகுதலும் வழுவழ கால வகையினானே அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறா. அதாவது காலத்துக்கு ஏற்றாறு போல மாற்றி நாம் நடக்கிறது வந்து நல்லதா, இல்லை அந்த பழமையே நாம் இன்னமும் கடைபிடிக்கிறது நமக்கு நல்லதா?
அந்த பழமையை மாற்றாமல் இருக்கிறது தான் சிறப்பு. இதே காஞ்சி பெரியவர் சொன்ன இன்னொரு உதாரணம் சொல்கிறேன். அவர் என்ன சொன்னார், ஒரு முத்துமணி மாலை இருக்குது, அதில் வரிசையாக நிறைய மணிகள் இருக்குது. புதுசாக வந்த ஒரு மணி என்ன பண்ணித்தான், முன்னாடி இருக்கிற மணியை விட நான் இன்னும் பெருசாக வளர்றேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு பெருசாக வளர்ந்து தான் அந்த மணிக்கு அது நல்லா இருக்கும். டோட்டல் மணி மாலைக்கு எப்படி இருக்கும், அது மட்டும் விகாரமாக இருக்கும். அதனால் முன்னாடி இருந்த மணி எப்படி இருந்ததோ அதே மாதிரி இருக்கிறது சிறப்பு. ஆனால் அந்த முன்னோர்கள் அனுஷ்டானத்தை இந்த காலத்துக்கு ஏற்ற மாதிரி எப்படி கடைப்பிடிக்கணுமோ அப்படி கடைப்பிடிக்கணும். வித்தியாசம் இருக்குது. முன்னோர்கள் அனுஷ்டானத்தை ஏன் இஷ்டப்படி மாற்றுறது வேற, ஆனால் இந்த காலத்துக்கு ஏற்றபடியும் வாழ்ந்து கொண்டு முன்னோர் அனுஷ்டானத்தையும் விடாமல் கடைப்பிடிச்சா அது இன்னும் சிறப்பு. அதனால் பழமையை மாற்றித்தான் ஆகணும்னு இல்லை. இந்த பழையன கழிதலும் புதியன புகுதலுங்கிறது எதுக்கு சொன்னான்னா, நேற்று வரைக்கும் நமக்கு லைஃப்பில் ஏதாவது ஒரு கஷ்டம் வந்திருக்கும், அல்லது ஏதாவது கசப்பான அனுபவம் இருந்திருக்கும், அதெல்லாம் பழசுன்னு விட்டுட்டு புதுசாக வரக்கூடிய நல்லதை பாருன்னு சொன்னாலே ஒழிய. ஏன்னா இப்போ சனாதன தர்மம்னு இவ்வளோ விஷயம் பார்த்தோம், இது எதுவுமே மாறப்போகிறது இல்லை. இது அந்த ஃபிலாசபிங்கிறது பெரியோர்கள் கொடுத்தது, அல்டிமேட் ஃபிலாசபி அதான். ஒரு சில சாஸ்திர விஷயங்கள் உங்களுக்கு இது போல் கடைபிடிக்க முடியாமல் இருக்குமே ஒழிய, இதை மாற்றுறதுன்னு ஆரம்பிச்சுட்டா எது வரைக்கும் மாற்றுறதுன்னு ஒரு பெரிய கேள்வி வந்துடும். அது கன்ஃபியூஷனில் தான் முடியும். அதனால் தி பேசிக் ஃபிலாசபி நமக்கு பெரியோர்கள் கொடுத்ததுங்கிறது என்றுமே மாறாது. அதனால் அதை சுற்றி இருக்க விஷயத்தையும் காலத்துக்கு ஏற்றபடி எவ்வளோக்கு எவ்வளோ கடைபிடிக்க முடியுமோ அப்படி கடைபிடிக்கிறது நல்லது. குடுமி வச்சு தான் ஆகணும், நான் ஹாஸ்பிட்டலில் போய் வேலை பார்க்கணும், கிராப்புக்குள்ளேயே குடுமி வச்சேன் பாருங்க, அந்த மாதிரி ஃபாலோ பண்ணிக்கலாம்.
நமஸ்தே ஜி, மை நேம் இஸ் பார்த்தசாரதி, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பிகாம் செகண்ட் செக்ஷன். மன தூய்மையை பற்றியும் உடல் தூய்மையை பற்றியும் சனாதனம் என்ன கூறுதல்ல?
ஓகே, மன தூய்மைங்கிறதுக்கு உடல் தூய்மைங்கிறதும் ஆரம்ப நிலையில் ரொம்ப தேவை. ஏன்னா ரொம்ப பக்குவப்பட்டவர்களுக்கு உடல் தூய்மை இல்லைன்னாலும் கூட அப்படியே உடம்புல அழுக்கு படிந்து இருந்தாலும் கூட மனசை தூய்மையாக வச்சு பகவானை தியானிக்க முடியும். ஆனால் முதல் தேவை நம்மை போல இருப்பவர்களுக்கு முதல்ல உடல் தூய்மையே முதல்ல நாம் கடைபிடிக்க தொடங்கினா அந்த உடம்பு தூய்மையாகும் போது நமக்கு ஒரு ஆம்பியன்ஸுங்கிறது கிடைக்கும். அப்படியே எல்லாமே பியூராக இருக்குது, வீடு சுத்தமாக இருக்குது. வீடு சுத்தமாகறதோடு சேர்ந்து நம்ம உடம்பும் நல்லா நீராடி சுத்தமாக இருக்குன்னா அது மனசை சுத்தம் பண்ணுறதுக்கு வழி வகுக்கும். இதுதான் சனாதன தர்மம் காட்டுற விஷயம். அதனால தான் பாருங்கள், புண்ணிய நதிகளில் நீராடுன்னு அடிக்கடி சொல்கிறோம். இதுலேயும் நான் அந்த தர்மங்கள்லேயே தீர்த்தானுசரணம் ததான்னு ஒரு வார்த்தை வருது. இந்த புண்ணிய நதிகளில் நீராடும் போது உங்க உடம்பு சுத்தமாக இருந்தா மனசு சுத்தமாக இருந்தா? ரெண்டும். புண்ணிய நதிகளில் நீராடும் போது உடம்புல உள்ள அழுக்கும் நீங்கும், உள்ளே இருக்கக்கூடிய பாபங்கள் தீய எண்ணங்கள் போன்ற அழுக்கும் நீங்கும், ரெண்டையுமே போக்கி கொடுக்கும். அதனால தான் பொதுவாகவே நம்ம சௌச்சம் தூய்மைன்னு சொல்லும்போது புறந்தூய்மை அகத்தூய்மைன்னு பெருசாக, இப்போ வள்ளுவர் கூட புறந்தூய்மை நீராளமையும் அகத்தூய்மை வாழ்மையால் காணப்படும்னார். ஆனால் பெரும்பாலும் அதை ரெண்டையும் நாம் வேறுபடுத்தி பார்க்கறது இல்லை. ஏன்னா ரெண்டுமே ஒன்றோடு ஒன்று சேர்ந்தது. ஆனால் மன தூய்மைங்கிறத நீங்கள் அச்சீவ் பண்ணதுக்கப்புறம் ஒரு ஜடபரதரை போல அழுக்கு படிந்த உடம்போடு இருந்தாலும் அது உங்கள் மன தூய்மையை பாதிக்காமல் இருக்கும். ஆனால் அந்த மன தூய்மை அச்சீவ் பண்ணுற வரைக்கும் உடல் தூய்மை தான் உங்களுக்கு கருவியாக இருந்து அந்த மன தூய்மையை பெற்றுக் கொடுக்கும். இது சனாதன தர்மத்தின் பார்வை.
நன்றி.
தென்னிந்தியாவில் தான் டயபெட்டிக் அதிகமாக வந்துகிட்டு இருக்குது. நாங்கள்லாம் எவ்வளோ தான் சொன்னாலும் அவங்க மெடிக்கலி கான்சன்ட்ரேஷன் ரொம்ப குறையுது. நீங்கள் அந்த கான்சன்ட்ரேஷனால தான் எமோஷனல் டிஸ்டர்பன்ஸ், அதனால டயபெட்டிக் அன்கண்ட்ரோல்டாக போயிட்டுருக்கு. இன்ஸ்பைட் ஆஃப் த கரெக்ட் மெடிசன், இன்ஜெக்ஷன் ஃபார்ம் கொடுத்தாலும் சரி, ஓரல் ஃபார்ம். கேன் யூ ஏபிள் டு கோரிலேட் வித் medically correlate with the mind and the diabetic control?
Yes. Thank you. இதை பற்றி நான் சொல்லலை, கிருஷ்ணர் கீதையில் சொல்லிட்டார். சார் உண்மையாக ஒரு கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் நடந்தது, யூஎஸ்ஏலேருந்து ஒரு ஸ்பீக்கர், ஷி வாஸ் ஸ்பீக்கிங் அபவுட் டயபெட்டிஸ், a doctor. She said the best medicine for diabetes is in Bhagavad Gita, but India has become the headquarters of diabetes without knowing Bhagavad Gita. USA person has to say this. In 6th adhyayam, yuktahara vikarasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkhaha. This shloka is seen in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says yukta ahara, moderate diet. The problem is on one area we feast, another area we fast, but no moderate diet. ஒன்று விருந்து இல்லைன்னா விரதம். ஆனால் இந்த மாடரேட் டயட்டுங்கிறது அப்பப்போ அட் ரெகுலர் இன்டர்வல்ஸ் ஃபியூ ஸ்மால் குவான்டிட்டிஸ் ஆஃப் மீல்ஸ் அட் ரெகுலர் இன்டர்வல்ஸ்னு எடுத்தால் டயபெட்டிஸ் வராது. அப்போ யுக்த ஆகார ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ரெகுலேட் யுவர் டயட். யுக்த விகாரஸ்ய யுவர் ஆக்டிவிட்டி ஷுட் பி மாடரேட். ஒன் ஹார்ட் லேபர் ஹெவி ஒர்க், அதர் sedentary work, only physical work, no physical work, only mental work, full of tension. Not like that, just optimum activity. Yukta cheshtasya karmasu. Similarly, while executing your duties also, you should have a balance. நாம் என்ன பண்ணுறோம், வீட்டில் வந்து ஆஃபீஸ் கவலையப்படுறோம், ஆஃபீஸ்க்கு போய் வீட்டுக்கு கவலையப்படுறோம், ரெண்டையும் கன்ஃபியூஸ் பண்ணிடுறோம். அப்படி இல்லாமல் சரியாக ஆஃபீஸ் நேரத்தில் ஆஃபீஸ் வேலையை பாரு, வீட்டுக்கு வந்தால் வீட்டு வேலையை பாரு, மைண்ட் அப்படி ஃபோக்கஸாக வச்சுக்கோ. யுக்த ஸ்வப்ன, ப்ராப்பர் ஸ்லீப். You should have at least 7 hours of sleep at night. That proper sleep. Avabodhasya, proper wakefulness also Krishna says. ப்ராப்பர் ஸ்லீப்புன்னு சொன்னாலே போதும்ல, அது எதுக்கு வேக்ஃபுல்னஸ்ன்னு சொல்லணும்? ஆமாம், நம்ம முழிச்சுட்டு இருக்கும்போதே தூங்குறோமே, அதனால் முழிச்சிருக்கும் போது தெளிவாக முழிச்சிருக்கணும். while you are awake you should be actually awake. If you follow all those things, yogo bhavati dukkha, all your dukkhas, all your sorrows will be destroyed. Diabetes is also a part of that sorrow, that will also go away, because moderate sleep, moderate diet, moderate activity, moderate exertion and moderate wakefulness, this is the best prescription given by Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, for diabetes.
Namaskar. My name is Indresh. Wonderful talk here.
Thank you.
I had a question that with such a achievement in spiritual sphere, physical sphere, we had a golden history. What were the fault lines that were exploited by foreign invasions, which made us fall so easily to the current state?
Only one word answer. We ourselves do not know the greatness of our own religion. That is the problem.
But why don't we have?
Because there are 3-4 factors. One, we have to transform the way of expression. Now, if we give the lecture in this format, many people can understand. But in our traditional way of teaching, it is a bit complicated and not all can understand those teachings. That is one problem. Second problem is, whenever we got some lucrative jobs given by the foreigners and other things, we just started ignoring our own things and started thinking that everything that is foreign is great. Everything, every person who is white will not tell lie, there is a joke. வெள்ளையாருக்கும் போய் சொல்ல மாட்டான், அந்த மாதிரி. அதுபோல் whatever they say, we thought it is right and we started just moving towards that, thinking that there is a lot of good. And third thing, now people have started realizing it. Not like 20 years before. இப்போ என்ன ப்ராப்ளம்னா, நிறைய பேர் இப்போ when you are given a night duty, 20 years back people accepted, okay, I am okay for night duty. But now people are thinking night duty causes a lot of problem in my health. They are unable to get a proper sleep. Their sleep wake pattern is changing. So everything we are realizing now only, and now we are ready to change. Now, so the issue is, whenever something new comes up, we will also get attracted to it. But when we realize that there is nothing in it, we will come back to the original point. But the original Sanatana Dharma is eternal and it will continue to exist. So just due to some reasons we didn't know our own greatness, we cannot understand those complicated mode of teaching, and the Englishmen, their lifestyle seemed somewhat lucrative. That's why we tend to go to that side. But time has come, we are just looking back at what we are having, so you need not worry.
Thank you.
Namaste sir, I am Gopika from first BCom. கர்மா வந்து அடுக்கடுக்கா வந்துகிட்டே இருக்குல்ல சார், அது எப்போ முடியும்னா, இதுக்கு ராமானுஜர் ஒரே ஒரு வழி சொல்லிட்டார். எல்லாம் பண்ணி என்னதான் பண்ணி கர்மாவை கழிக்கணும்னாலும் நீங்கள் இன்னொரு ஜென்மம் எடுக்கிறது எதுக்குன்னா, இந்த ஜென்மத்தில் பண்ண கர்மாவை கழிக்கணும்னு. ஆனால் அந்த ஜென்மத்தில் இன்னும் பலவிதமான கர்மாவை அக்குமுலேட் பண்ணிடுறோம். இது இப்படியே போகிறதுக்கு ஒரே ஃபுல் ஸ்டாப் என்னன்னா, நீ பகவான்கிட்ட விழுந்து சரணாகதி பண்ணு. சரண்டர் யுவர் செல்ஃப் டு காட். தட் இஸ் த ஒன்லி வே. பிகாஸ் இன் பகவத் கீதா லார்ட் கிருஷ்ணா சேஸ், சர்வ தர்மான் பரித்யஜ்ய மாமேகம் சரணம் व्रज அகம் த்வா சர்வ பாபேபியோ மோக்ஷயிஷ்யாமி மா சுச்சஹ. So the volume of our karma is so high that it is impossible for us to totally get rid of it with our own efforts.
So rather, you just resort to Lord Krishna, because there is a saying, whenever there is a difficult thing to do, please resort to the technical people who are capable of doing it. Because when you have a disease, right, you are healthy. Just hypothetically I am telling you, if you have some disease, you should not Google about that disease. Because if you start Google searching about that disease, so much complicated answers you will get. Just leave it to technical person. In your place, Dr. Balakumar sir is there. When you go to him, he will definitely cure all those problems. So just leave it to the technical person who is capable of doing it. Another example I will tell you. 4 months back, one cyber crime, or a cyber criminal, he caught hold of me and saying that I will post photos and other things. He started doing extortion. That time my friend advised me, don't deal cyber crime by yourself. There is technical people called cyber crime department. You report to them. They will take care of him. I reported. They took care of him. Similarly, when you want to get rid of karma, it is a very, very highly technical and complicated thing, which Bhagavan alone is capable of doing. So instead of worrying about how to solve your karma, just leave it to Bhagavan, surrender to him. Just like doctors take care of your diseases, cyber crime department taking care of cyber crimes, God will take care of your karma.
Thank you, sir. Namaste, sir. I am Balasandri, first BCA. என்னோட கொஷின் என்னன்னா, இப்போ நம்ம பெரியவங்க காலில் விழுந்து நமஸ்காரம் பண்ணுறோம். இப்போ அவங்கள்ட்ட இருக்கிற பாசிட்டிவ் எனர்ஜிலாம் நமக்கு வருதுன்னு சொல்கிறீங்க. அப்போனா அவங்கள்ட்ட உள்ள நெகட்டிவ் எனர்ஜி நம்மளை அஃபெக்ட் பண்ணுமா? இது ஒரு நல்ல கேள்வி. முதல்ல அது சாஸ்திர விதி என்னன்னா, பெரியோர்களைத்தான் விழுந்து நமஸ்காரம் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்கிறோமே ஒழிய சின்னவங்களை நம்ம சொல்லலை. ஃபஸ்ட்டு திங் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. ரெண்டாவது, பெரியோர்கள்னு ஓரளவு பக்குவப்பட்டவங்களாக இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு நமக்கு இருக்கிறத விட நெகட்டிவ் எனர்ஜி கம்மியாக தான் இருக்கும். ஏன்னா அனுபவங்கிறது வர வர அனுபவமே சிறந்த ஆசான். அதனால் உங்களுக்கு நெகட்டிவ் எனர்ஜிங்கிறது இருக்காது. மூணாவது, இந்த மைக்ரோ ஃபோட்டான்ஸ்னு சொன்னோம் இல்லையா, அந்த ஆறாங்கிறதே பொதுவாக பாசிட்டிவ் ஆறாவாகத்தான் இருக்கும். அப்படி ஒருத்தர் நெகட்டிவ் பர்சனாக இருக்காருன்னா அவருக்கு இவ்வளோ தூரம் அந்த ஆறாவே இருக்காது. ஏன்னா அந்த பாயிண்ட் நீங்கள் கவனிச்சிங்களான்னு தெரியாது. ரொம்ப பெரிய சான்றோர்கள் ஞானிகளுக்கு தான் 50 feet வரைக்கும் ஆறா இருக்குன்னு சொன்னோம். நெகட்டிவ் பீப்புளுக்கு அவ்வளோ தூரம் ஆறாவே இருக்காது. அதனால் அவர் பாசிட்டிவ் பர்சனாக இருந்து அவருக்கு பாசிட்டிவ் எனர்ஜி இருந்தால் தான் அந்த ஆறா எமனேட் ஆகும், உங்களை அடையும். இதுக்கு மேலே ஒரு விஷயம் சொல்கிறேன். இது அதாவது சாஸ்திர ரீதியாக, இது சயின்டிஃபிக் ரீசன் சொல்கிறதுக்காக இது சொன்னேன். மனுஸ்மிருதியில் மனு ஒரு விஷயம் சொல்கிறார். என்னென்னா, ஊர்துவம் பிராணாகா உத்கிராமந்தின்னு ஒரு பெரியவர் நம்ம பக்கம் வராருன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். நீங்கள் எழுந்துக்காமல் இருந்தீங்கன்னா உங்கள் உடம்புலேருந்து பிராணசக்திங்கிறது எழுந்துக்குமா அவங்களுக்கு நமஸ்காரம் சொல்கிறதுக்காக. நீங்கள் எழுந்து வணக்கம் சொல்லிட்டா மேலே போன பிராணசக்தி அப்படியே உங்கள்கிட்ட ரெஸ்ட் ஆகிடும். நமஸ்காரம் பண்ணால் உங்களோடையே இருந்துருமா. ஆனால் ஒரு பெரியவர் வரார், நீங்கள் அவருக்கு நமஸ்காரமே பண்ணாமல் நான் பாட்டுக்கு அப்படியே உட்காந்துருக்கேன்னு உட்காந்துருந்தா உங்கள் பிராணசக்தி மட்டும் மேலே போயிடுமா. இப்படி பல பெரியோர்களை தான் அவமதித்து பிராணசக்தி மேலே 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 போல போயிட்டே இருந்ததுன்னா அவனுக்கு ஆயுசு சீக்கிரமாக போயிடுங்கிறார். ஆனால் அப்படி இல்லாமல் பெரியோர்களை எப்போ பார்த்தாலும் எழுந்து நின்று விழுந்து நமஸ்காரம் பண்ணான்னா மொத்த பிராணசக்தியும் அவங்களுக்குள்ளேயே இருக்கும். அதனால் அவன் நீண்ட ஆயுள் வாழ்வான்னு இது மனுஸ்மிருதியில் சொல்கிறார். அப்போ இப்படி வச்சுக்கோங்க, அவங்க உங்களோட வயசில் பெரியவங்க தானே, அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஸ்தானம் இருக்கு இல்லையா. உங்கள் பெற்றோர்களாக இருக்கலாம், டீச்சராக இருக்கலாம், அல்லது உங்களுக்கு பெரியப்பா பெரியம்மா சித்தப்பா அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கலாம், என் அண்ணனா அக்காவா கூட இருக்கலாம். உங்களோட பெரியவங்கும் போது அவங்களை நீங்கள் வணங்கும் போது உங்களோட பிராணசக்தி உங்கள்கிட்ட நிறையா இருக்கே, உங்கள் பாசிட்டிவ் ஆறாவே உங்கள்கிட்ட இருக்கணும்னா நமஸ்காரம் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லியிருக்கு. அதனால் தாராளமாக பண்ணுங்க.